All right, we are here. The RKT appraisals in the motherfucking building. What's going on, man?
What's up? What's up? What's up?
Stop it. What's good with you? What's good with you? So today we talking about don't waste your tax money. Okay.
Yes.
So go in. Let them know what it's about.
Yeah, man. I mean, this is about, everybody when tax time come around. I'm gonna get this. I'm gonna get this new bag. I'm gonna get this new purse. I'm gonna get this new Jordans. I'm gonna get all these random items. You know what I mean? You shouldn't be wasting your tax money on frivolous stuff. Not saying you can't get something nice,
Right.
but make sure you're using your tax money the right way. What do I mean by that? Most people get taxes maybe $1,000, $1,500, or $3,000, $4,000, $7,000, $8,000 if you have kids. Use that money the right way. Go ahead and invest yourself. You know what I mean? Fix your credit. Use some of that money, put some of that money away for a deposit down on a house if you want to try to buy a house. If you needed to pay something down, pay it down. Actually use that money to get ahead. Because if you can't save, or if you can't afford to save, or whatever the case is, tax money is the best way to make up for all those things you can't do during the way. So that's why you can't let it be a wasted opportunity. Yes, buy yourself something nice, but be reasonable. Be reasonable. That's the main goal. With this topic here today, use your tax money for something that's going to actually benefit you and make your life more productive.
Yeah, for a lot of people, it's like their tax money's already spent before they even get it. Like right. That's the crazy part about it. And understand, people, like, this is your money your hard-earned money that you've been working hard for throughout the course of the year. So right. For you to, already spend it before you even get it back, it's like, it's less value on yourself and what you got going on. And like Rashidi said, especially if you have kids, it's people that's getting back $8,000, $9,000, $10,000 in taxes. What are you really doing with it? Ultimately, like what Rashidi was saying, the best thing you can do is invest. Also, you can save some of that money for a rainy day, for whatever you want to do. You could use some of that money to actually go on vacations or do something nice with your family, because a lot of time people say, they never have money to do this and never have money to do that. I think the tax time is the best way to recoup all the things that you couldn't do throughout the year and make that happen during tax time.
Facts. So what are some good ways you guys would advise your clients to invest their tax money?
Just depends on their situation. I mean, it's one of those things where if your credit is jacked up and you had that one bill for $700, call RKT. We'll negotiate that bill, maybe cut it in half, but you have that $350 to take care of that bill. When it comes to credit, so some things, something where if you have a crazy car payment that's killing you a month, we might say, hey, you got back $4,000. Why don't we take $2,000 out of that money, put it in a separate account? So instead of your car payment being $400 a month, it's now $200 a month. So you're paying $200 and you're pulling $200 from the money from taxes. Mm-hmm. So it's all about the individual situation. If you're trying to buy a house, all right, you need $10,000 for deposit. Why don't you take about most of that money, buy the necessities that you need to pay down the bills, and put that down for a house? You know what I mean? If you're about to buy a car, all right, why don't you take some of that money, put down as a down payment so your payments are lower? Right. It's really about just what's going on in your life and what you got to take care of. And from there, we execute a game plan.
Right.
Also, people could invest in life insurance. As a matter of fact, every time
real shit.
During tax time, what you can do is you can get a life insurance policy. That life insurance policy comes with an investment attached to the product. And then the beauty about it is, if you get this product during tax time, you could pay it off for the whole year. And then you don't have to worry about it again until the next tax season.
Right.
And then you just keep doing the process over and over. It's like
every year. Yeah, that's what's up.
You don't even really see the effects financially from it because it's during tax time.
Right, because you could have a decent life insurance policy and pay like $150 a month.
Yeah, and I mean, depending on your age, yeah.
Right. So a buck is like $1,800 a year. Right. So you could throw two racks on the life insurance policy, and you ain't got to worry about it till next year. And then when next year come, you do the same shit. And you got a beautiful life insurance policy accumulating money, and especially if it's like an IUL, you know what I'm saying? And then next year you could probably, a couple of years after doing that, you could borrow money from it, put down on a house, different things going on. So yeah, that's definitely a a good strategy there, man.
Got to make our taxes work for us.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Exactly. But you know, I'm from the urban persuasion and I like rims. So what would you
I was about to say, I'm like, all these people out here, they're gonna be like, well, I need to get the Jordans. I gotta look fresh. You know what I'm saying? So what do you say to those people? Do you say fuck all of that, or like you said, I think you said earlier, take a little bit of it? You know what I'm saying, and then use most of it. So what would it be, like 80, 20, 90, 10? Like what would you say? Like use 10% of it and then put 90% of it away for, or invest 90% of it. Like what's your thoughts on that?
I mean, my thing is also just always looking at everybody's situation. So if you're getting back $3,000 and you in a hole for $5,000 worth of bills,
Right.
I'm gonna tell you, get yourself a nice dinner at a restaurant for $1.25. That's what I'm gonna tell you. You know what I mean? If it's somebody with the rim situation, same scenario, I'm gonna be like, no, the rims ain't for you right now. I mean, you get these rims right now and get flashy, and I mean, you may pick up some women or whatever the case is, though, but you ain't gonna have no money to back up them rims. So the rims gonna look nice. It's gonna be the first eye catcher, but you can't do nothing because the rims ain't getting you nowhere.
Right.
So why would you take that money, invest in something else, and a year or two from now, you could buy them rims straight out cash with no issue, and it don't even burn a hole in your pockets.
right?
So just really just look at the situation and what they really like. And honestly, it's about, it's always something that you really wanted to do. Like Kadeem said, whether it's a vacation, whether it's something you want to buy yourself nice. I think it is healthy to set aside some money to treat yourself because you deserve it. You earned it. It's your money. But just be reasonable with it. You know what I mean? If you're getting $4,000 and you want to go on vacation, okay. Maybe going on vacation that is going to cost a total of $1,500. It was expensive, but if you plan it out properly, it'll be worth it. Just be reasonable about what you're doing.
And let's be honest too, like Jordans, right? They're the same sneaker since 80 something.
Right.
Same sneaker.
It
doesn't change.
Right.
Literally, take 10, maybe 20% of your money, and buy some things that you like. The other 80%, yes, you need to be saving. You need to be investing it. But like even rims, no matter what it is, it's almost the same type of material that's being cycled. It's nothing new. Okay, what we gonna do? We're gonna get TVs,
right?
Rims. We're gonna get Jordans.
Jewelry.
Like literally, it's the same stuff,
right?
That you're getting every single year.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Do something different, because here's what happens: if you continue to do the same thing and think that something is going to change, that is the first level of insanity.
Right. Right. That's facts.
Different, and it doesn't have to be something huge, but you have to take baby steps to make those changes so you can see some changes, literally. And that's the reason why, like most people, their taxes are done. By time February, March hits, their taxes are done because they keep doing the same exact things. People need to be planning for when they get their taxes,
right,
the right way, and call RKT appraisals, and we can help you plan to use your taxes the right way. Don't get me wrong, you're still an adult. At the end of the day, you're going to do what you want to do with your money, but we can at least give you good advice on what you should do during tax time, and help you out with your finances. So just give us a call.
I feel that, and I think one of the things that can help people with this type of situation to be more wise with using the tax money and everything, like you're saying, is that part of it, of investing it, you know what I'm saying? Like, putting in life insurance, stuff like that, is because I think once they can see, like, or they can like get an idea of what it will do, you know what I'm saying? And like, let's say you say, hey, put this down on some life insurance for the next, 5, 6, 7 years or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And then this will be the outcome of that, versus you get your tax money and you spend it on all this stuff, but in 5 or 6 years, you don't get nothing out of it. You see what I'm saying? So that's the thing that I think like people got to like really look at and see, what's going to actually benefit them longer term. You see what I'm saying? But I think also too, part of it is that I like the idea of taking a percentage and then using it, and then taking the other main percent and then investing it, because most people, they still want to feel like that they're using their money to get some shit that they really want. You know what I mean? Like they still want to have the feeling of, oh, well, I still kind of wanted to get this thing. Like I always wanted to get this, but I never had the money, and now I got the money. And I think that type of mentality, without them having the other side of the mentality of saying, well, I should still save, is the thing that makes them spend all the money. Because if you say, okay, I got like 2 G's back in taxes, and they're like, well, this is the thing I wanted, and it costs, you know, like $1,200, or it's gonna cost me $1,200 to do this stuff. And then you're like, well, I got $800 left, so fuck it, I might as well spend it. You know what I'm saying? Like what am I saving it for? And then that's the mentality where they don't actually think about what they can do with it.
Right.
And it's important to do something with it because of the long-term effects of having that thing they're investing. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely.
And what I would say also is that I think that people should pretty much somewhat match what they're getting for taxes. So if you know you're getting $3,000 for taxes, try to save $3,000 so when tax time comes, so you actually have double, and then you have more to like maneuver with. You have more to play to match what you had getting for taxes. Whatever it is, match that.
Right.
That's dope. Yeah. One thing too I want to highlight, man, which is massive, is that a lot of times when you think about it, if you waste your tax money, it's like it's a slap to your own face. You're spitting in your own face. Think about this logically. If you make $80,000 a year, you're going to get taxed $15,000, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when you get that tax time, if you don't got no kids, you only gonna get back $3,000. You paid $15,000 for like $3,000, and then you're gonna waste that $3,000 that you paid $15,000 for. let's just think about that for a second. You know what I mean? So you definitely actually want to use it for something useful at the end of the day. And the other thing I want to address with people is like, people pay your taxes. What do I mean by that though? A lot of times people, even with a regular 9-to-5 jobs, a W-2 worker, whatever you call it, you know you don't got no kids. Why are you putting 1 and 2 when it comes time to take out their money? Come on, stop it. Talking about, they're taking out less now because I'm going to save it. Please stop it. Put down 0. Make sure they take out all the proper taxes. This way you don't owe Uncle Sam any money and you actually get something back.
Right.
Because people be trying to skim and not pay the proper tax. Don't do it to yourself. You cannot get over on Uncle Sam. Student loans and taxes will forever get you. You can't cut corners with them. They will catch you eventually. That's the one people you cannot mess with. So like my main thing is people pay your taxes. And if it's a way of you saving, a lot of times what I did with my 9-to-5 was I'd had them take out a little bit more extra money for taxes. So outside of what's supposed to come out, I say, all right, take out extra $40 a paycheck or $50 a paycheck every paycheck. So this way I don't even notice it. It's gone. Yes, it's $40, $50 less. But when tax time come back around and I get that fat check for $4,000 or $5,000, I'm like, damn, and that was an easy way of how to save money without actually having to save and doing the legwork. They take the money out before you see it, and then at the end of the year, you get it back.
Oh, shit. That's some real game for because they say being cheap is expensive. You know what I'm saying? So
exactly, being cheap is expensive as fuck. That's facts.
Entrepreneurs out there, like it's a little different when it comes to taxes. Like we're the ones that we have to actually pay the tax, right? With more of a 9-to-5, they just like got to be the ones to pay it. So pay attention to that. Make sure you're paying your taxes, whether it's quarterly, semi-annually, or annually. Make sure you're paying attention to how you're paying your tax. You must still pay. Somebody in the chat, they said all tax proceeds to politicians that don't care about people. I mean, there may be some truth to it, honestly. But the truth is, we can't control that. There's nothing that that we can do about that part specifically. Like I said, still pay your taxes, regardless of what the politicians or the elites are doing with whatever the higher ups are doing. There's very little control that we have of that. So do me a favor, don't bust your brain about that. Don't worry about that, because there's nothing that you can do personally to change that.
Right.
So seriously, honestly,
my reply to that is so.
Right.
like, are you looking for politicians to care about you?
Right.
Like who? Come on.
The only 2 things that's promised in this life is death and taxes. Pay it.
Exactly.
Pay it. Like there's nothing.
That's crazy. So let me see. This other one said, I should have thought about this during our call. Most of the time I don't spend my tax return. I used to pay off debts and a bomb ass dinner I didn't have to cook. That's funny.
Yeah, man. Yeah, Kid Frank, we speaking to him earlier today, man. We speaking to him earlier today, though. But no, that's what it's about at the end of the day, though. Like, these are real strategies to help out, and it's easy strategies to kind of get you where you need to go, man. At the end of the day, when it comes to taxes, you know.
Right.
And the other thing, back to Kadeem's point, where he was talking about, the 1099s and entrepreneurs. Like, don't get Wesley Snipes, man. You know what happens when you don't pay your taxes. You know what I mean? Like, it's gonna catch up to you. It's gonna catch up to you. It's one of those things where you also want to take this opportunity, especially 1099s, to understand how taxes work and actually hire the right accountant to kind of guide you if you had your own business. Yeah. That's crucial. You know what I mean? You want to know what you can write off and how it affects you.
Exactly.
And things like that. And that's massive, man, especially for people that's not a W-2, man. Like, you need to take your taxes way more serious because you don't want to be in the hole. You don't want to be in the hole with Uncle Sam's. Like I said, they'll take your money. You know what I mean? And the government don't play. They garnish wages. They get in all kinds of things. You don't want somebody putting their hands in your pot and taking your money, and you can't control it. That's the worst feeling, to get audited. So.
That's crazy. That's crazy. And yeah, I think that's important for people who are entrepreneurs to understand that, that's part of the game too. Like, you're gonna have to, a portion of what you got, is going to be taken away in taxes. So either once you make the money, split that into different ways where, okay, I'm spending this, I'm putting this back in the business. This is for the taxes. You know what I'm saying? And this is like my personal shit right here. Or make sure that you have a certain amount of money that you're just saving every time you get money, so that when tax time does come, you say, okay, I have a portion amount of money saved so that when I do need to pay taxes, I can just take out of that and just pay the taxes. But either way, there has to be some sort of money being put away somewhere, you know what I'm saying, for that to sort of go down. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Yep. Yeah, get yourself a good accountant, man. Gotta get yourself a good accountant. Make sure they know what they're doing. Make sure they understand the nature of your business and how to write stuff off that need to get wrote off and all that type of stuff, because there's different things with business that you need to understand. So, and understand that you need to pay taxes, man. You need to pay taxes. So it is what it is. For people who have a job, that's cool. There's nothing wrong with having a job, but it's a different mentality when you actually own a business. And if you own a business and you have a job, then, definitely make sure your accountant knows the difference between the two and understand where you got to pay taxes and understand where you getting your income tax from your 9 to 5 and so on and so forth. Like, it all needs to be paid back, because you don't, like Rashidi said, you don't want them coming after you.
Right. Exactly. That shit is man, like, and it sucks because it's like, what's interesting is nobody wants to pay taxes, but it's necessary because, the niggas got to get paid for other shit that they do. So it's like,
exactly.
So it's like there's no way around it, really. You know what I mean? So it's one of them things. But I think as if a person in business, there's ways that you can write shit off. Damn, people fucking y'all continue talking. I gotta go get this door. Hold on.
Back off of Mr. Car saying there's definitely ways of writing things off.
Right.
It's one of those things where if you got some stuff, everything you put into the business, you can write a lot of it off. So depending on what you're trying to do, it can work out for you financially, where you don't have to pay as much taxes and you can write certain things off.
Exactly.
But like I said, it's important. Main thing I like to tell people is all about a mindset. At the end of the day, just like how we watch sports, NFL, basketball, as regular people, we do the same thing. You know what I mean? The sports guys, the athletes, they got accountants. We need accountants as regular people too.
That's a fact.
If your accountant is doing all the stuff the right way, you're gonna get the most money back. You're gonna know what to write off and how it affects you. So a lot of times we watching TV and watching all these people on commercials, all that type of stuff. We got to do the same formula they're doing. It's just that we're on a smaller scale, but it impacts our life way more dramatic because they get large sums of money. We just get small increments if you choose to be a W-2 type of work at the end of the day. So that's why it's a major thing, man. It's a mindset that you got to treat yourself like a business, just like everybody else's business, just like the TV, the internet you get. Treat it just the same way. You got to operate your life the same way, just like a business.
That's facts. That's facts, man. That's facts.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I was just thinking because I was saying that as far as like entrepreneurs and shit, I think because when you like, if you hire somebody, right, you still have to understand, like, because don't you got to give the person you're hiring, what is it, W-2 or 1099? I don't know how the fuck these shits work, because I'm not hiring nobody right now. But I'm just saying that once you are, you're gonna have to know those things. You see what I'm saying?
Thanks.
So to make sure that all of like your shit is like organized. You know what I'm saying? But go ahead, what you was gonna say?
No, I was just gonna say, the RKT, like, do you have any other like tidbits for people who, for tax time and anything else that you could provide that people need to pay attention to?
Yeah, I mean, the actual game plan. That's the reality situation. The game plan is massive. That's the only thing you really need, to be honest with you, because once you actually have a game plan as far as what you're trying to do, we're good to go. Because that's the one thing when calling RKT, it's about what are you actually trying to do?
Right.
Are you trying to get a new car next year? Are you trying to get a house? Are you trying to get a cell phone? Are you just trying to build your credit up? Whatever you're trying to do, we actually put a game plan in place. So the tax time is the perfect opportunity to use that money to execute all those plans. And the main point is, don't wait. Because the thing is, with tax time, it only comes once a year. So to be frank, you could mess it up that one time and you got to wait 365 days to get it right again. So that's why it's crucial. Call us before you get the taxes. Don't get the taxes and spend all the money. What can we do now? I got $100 left over. No. You know what I mean? No. Give us a call way before. Call us right now. Go onto the website, book an appointment, and we'll make that plan. This way, when you get the money, we can actually make a plan for you, tell you how to use it and make the change. This way next year, you're golden.
Right.
You get what you need to get.
Shout out to Kate. Gave us a call. We spoke with him earlier today. Shout out to him. Yeah, pretty much what Rashida was saying. Give us a call. We'll definitely, because by default, by us helping you with your finances, by us having a game plan, those taxes also fall along in that line with it. And us ourselves, are we tax professionals? No, but we can connect you with tax professionals. If you guys need a tax professional, we can connect you with one as well to help you with your taxes. So
exactly, and tax preparers cost. So be prepared to pay a couple $100 to get your taxes prepared. But see, the thing is that when people prepare your taxes, it puts a buffer between you and the IRS. You know what I'm saying? Because then they got to talk to them. They got to talk to your tax preparer. You understand? So if your taxes are late or if there's a discrepancy, they got to talk to them. You understand? So that's why it's good. If you own a business or anything like that, you definitely should have a tax preparer. Personally, I think it gives you a little bit more insurance just in case something goes wrong or in case there's some type of discrepancy. And because every once in a while, depending on how things go, there are even a lot of like things that change. There's certain rates that change in the government stipulations due to Congress passing new legislation with taxes and percentages and different things. And that's what you pay your tax preparer for. Like, they know things like that. They know how to like, with all this PPP loan shit and, COVID and, life insurance, different things happening. And, we went from a Republican cabinet to a Democratic cabinet. A lot of those things end up changing the tax codes and different things like that. So you trying to do your taxes yourself to try to save a couple $100 might not be worth it, because a lot of times, like even Lakari and myself, our tax guy, like, he's able to do things that we didn't even know. Like we get money back from certain things, like, because we didn't take out a PPP loan, like we're able to get, to get taxed a little bit less because we didn't partake in any of the loans and things like that. Like, so you want to use a tax preparer, especially if you have a business. Like, if you're just a 9-to-5 person and, and you got kids as dependents and you just waiting to get your tax money back, then that's not that bad. Right. Although you still want a tax preparer, because again, tax preparers can figure out ways to itemize a lot of different things to get you the maximum money back. You understand what I'm saying? So right. If like, for example, there's guys out there that fucked around and got the wrong chick pregnant and you paying child support. You need somebody to look at the monies that you're paying on child support and make sure you get to report those things. You understand? Because you might be able to get some money back from that. You understand? And if you try to do your taxes yourself, or if you just, or if you just go to H&R Block or whatever, it's like, that's one thing. These companies like H&R Block, they're cool, but they're only going to do generic. They're only going to do generic moves to get you generic tax returns. But if you get an actual, like a personal tax preparer, like an accountant, you're much better off, because they'll call you up, ask you questions, and you get to customize how you write certain things off. You'll get to be able to dive deeper. Like, for example, if you own a car that's over a certain weight, there are tax incentives for that. If you just bought a house, there's tax incentives for that. If you live in a certain state, there's tax incentives for that. There's a whole bunch of different things that you want to be able to have a tax preparer that understands your lifestyle, understands the way you make money, understands your business, understands the job that you have. If you're a veteran, if you're a first responder, if you're military, like all these different things that you want to be able to customize and get the most out of your tax return and get the most back from what you're supposed to get back from the government. Because again, like I said, H&R Block, they're cool, but they're not going to go to that extra length, or they're not going to go above and beyond to really get everything that you're supposed to get back from the government. So, having a tax preparer, paying an extra $150, $200 for somebody to do your taxes, it might help you. It might help you out a lot more in the long run. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you have plans with that tax money, or if you have, as a business owner, if you have plans to like make large purchases or to buy property or things like that, you're going to want to talk to somebody to prepare your taxes. So get with RKT Appraisals and they can point you in the right direction.
Yeah, and one thing I want to piggyback off what Miles just said, which is massive. Believe it or not, H&R Block and all those companies, that you might as well get your own tax preparer. Remember, they charge you $150 to $300 anyway. The taxpayer is going to charge you the same thing.
Yep.
The difference is, though, H&R Block, to Miles's point, is that they're generic. They're just looking for the basics. They're not going for that actual, I can save you $1, I can save you $1 there. No, what they do is a person sit behind a desk and punch your information in a system and send you on your way. They're not looking at nothing extra. They're not going above and beyond. But to Miles' point, an accountant who knows what he's doing, it's an individual. He wants to get you as much money back as possible, because that's going to incentivize you to come back to him and refer more people over and over again. Exactly. And the kicker is he's going to get you way back more money. H&R Block might get you back $1,500. He may look at the joint and say, hey, you can tax up right off this, do this, do that. And you walk out there with $2,700.
Exactly.
And even if it costs you an extra $100, $100, extra $1,200 you made.
Right.
Let's do the math. What's better? Some generic brand that's easy. They sit down, take information for 6 minutes, or you sit down with somebody for 45 minutes and get way more money. Exactly. I mean, you do the math.
Exactly. And they're having a tax preparer, a personal tax preparer, also safeguards you from a lot of stuff, because there have been times where we put our shit in late. Or there have been times where the electronic filing didn't go through, and because we had a guy, it's like all we needed to do was to let it, because the IRS will email us or say something to us, and then we'll just be like, hey, talk to my tax guy, and then he'll take care of everything. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes we're able to get money back, and based on, like I said, different rates and new legislations and shit that we had no idea about. So get a tax preparer, especially if you're an entrepreneur, you own your business, or if you have a complicated tax situation where you got kids, you paying child support, you got different situations, you're managing, your family, maybe you taking care of your mother or your elderly people in your family, and you want to know how to get, tax breaks for things like that. All of it makes a difference. You know what I'm saying? So take your tax situation seriously. And that whole idea about it happening only once a year, you want to do it right. You definitely want to do it right, because after you file, that's pretty much it. Anything else, and anything you figure out, you got to wait till next year to make that shit happen. You feel me? So it is what it is.
Real shit.
Absolutely.
So any last things? Any last things we didn't cover before we wrap it up?
I mean, we'll answer his last question as far as making donations. Yes, it is.
Right.
You can do that. It's just a matter of, is it worth it for you? But it is a tax write-off. Just give a quick example. I had a car. Where I donated a car that wasn't worth nothing. you know what I mean, donated it. It wasn't driving anymore. It's a program called Care for Kids, and I got $500 back at tax time. So you can donate stuff, and when you do donate, you do get a tax break. So that is a thing, you know, just to address that. But yeah, at the end of the day, just call RKT, or better yet, just go to the website. Don't even call us. Go to the website and book the consultation. It takes 2 minutes. We'll get an email with all your information. So just go and book an appointment so we can go over these things, get this game plan ready for you, take care of you for the future.
Oh, you talking about that company, Cars for Kids? 1-877 Cars for Kids.
Yeah.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today. Yeah, that's my shit. Yeah, man.
Shout out to everybody who tuned into the show. You know, we really appreciate you guys.
Facts.
Yes, like Rashidi said, book a consultation. We'll talk.
Exactly. Yeah. Book that consultation. Go to rktappraisals.com or call 973-420-5028. But the best way to set up a consultation is to go straight to the website, rktappraisals with an s.com, and set up a time. Yeah.
That shit cracking. So, guys, we appreciate y'all tuning in, and we gonna holler at y'all next week. Remember, the truth is inside you. Peace. We out later.